announce the awards of the judging that has been going on. So first of all, I want to thank all of you for being here, and of course, anyone that submitted anything for judging, I want to thank you for doing that. I also want to thank the judges who are still working behind closed doors to finish up there. And just a reminder, because I didn't mention it yesterday, that we will be surveying participants after this conference. And yesterday, I think I said, if you don't support it, we can't do it. Well, I've been deluged with people saying, do it again, do it again. So, we want to get your input about the timing, the location, how things went, what we can do better next year, because this is our first opportunity to have separated the Fleece Show and education from the National Halter Show. So we're looking at everything so we can figure out what to do next year. So if you have suggestions for improvement, please, let me know. Anyway, without further ado, I am going to introduce Stacy Height, who is the superintendent for auxiliary fleeces, and you're going to, as I understand, drum roll, announce the winners. So, Stacy.
Well, I just want to thank everybody that participated.
Yeah, we can make it louder. Yeah.
Is that okay? Okay. So I just want to thank everybody that participated in the Auxiliary Fleece Show, which includes the spin-off, the fiber arts, and the skein competition. The spin-off, we have all the high scores by color. They're out there posted, so please go take a look at those. And then I have awards here for the Judge's Choice. Here you go. For the skein competition.
It's on the back. It's on the back of it.
It's on the back of that. I was more organized than I thought. Okay, so this is for David Armour for his hand-spun Surrey skein. Hand-spun Surrey. You try that. Okay, so I'm just going to tell you that you need to really come up and take a look at this, because this is absolutely amazing for hand-spun. I mean, really. So I'm going to give him a round of, he's not here, but I'm going to give him a big round of applause. This is Judge's Choice for Fiber Arts. This is Surrey. It's woven on a rigid huddle loom, and it is absolutely stunning. And Winnie did a great job on picking this. I'll also tell you that this had a lot of points for the People's Choice. And this was done by Jennifer Baum. I don't think she's here either. We have one more. And if, Joanne, if you're here, I'd like you to come up. This was the People's Choice Award. This is what you all voted on last night. And this is her scarf. You need to come up here and show it off. And this is for People's Choice. So thanks again.
Means I have to use my technology skills. Thank you, Stacy, and I think we ought to give a round of applause. Our superintendents have really done a great job, and probably the one with the toughest job is our fleece superintendent, Judy Schroeder, who, when we planned the show, we had no idea we were going to end up with the number of fleeces we had. So this gal really deserves a round of applause, plus all the volunteers. Judy.
Hi. I met a lot of you for the first time this weekend, and the volunteers that have been here have been tops. And I know a lot of people say, "Oh, the volunteers are great." I could not have done this show without the volunteer, without the crew that was here helping and leading, and just taking over and doing a fabulous, fabulous job. And I know the judges appreciated it. And the reason why they appreciated it is because they had 532 regular fleeces and 23 cottage for a total of 555 fleeces being judged. That is, for 3 judges, that is such an amazing amount of fleeces. They were on their feet for 12 hours a day, and along with the volunteers, and the volunteers, many of them stayed right to the very end. And even when Margie and I sitting in the room at nighttime, volunteers are coming downstairs because they heard someone was in the fleece room, and they wanted to make sure nobody was messing with it. So it was just, and the judges have just walked in now. When we first came in the room, they were still judging. They were finishing up the production classes. So I don't have the results of that. I won't be announcing the production results. You're going to have to go over and see those. But we had 25 production entries. 25. 12 of them were get a sire, and 13 of them were produce of dam. And I've never seen numbers like this in the show personally. It just took a lot of time to figure out the organization for them to be able to pull this off. And let me see the breakdown. We had 108 Surrey, and the Surrey were not divided by gender. And that preserved your Surrey championships. So there's championships in everything except for your multi or your mixed combined group. And Wakaya, 447. They were divided by gender. And then also, you had championships again in everything except for your mixed combined groups. Okay, for judging, we had Diana Timmerman. Diana is over there in the black shirt. Many of you know Diana because she's right here from Colorado. She judged all of the Surrey, and then she judged all of the light Wakayas. And the light category, that includes the light fawn and the beige fleeces, both male and female. And then we have Sharon Lona. Sharon's there in the white. She's also local. Sharon judged all of the Wakaya gray, black, brown, and the mixed combined group. And the mixed combined, that includes the indefinite and the multis, all of the multis. And then we have Winnie Lebrecq. Winnie came here from Pennsylvania. Now, Winnie came in, and because she had the most fleeces, she had over 200 to do between cottage fleece, regular fleece. She also had to do the fiber arts. So she's been a pretty busy lady this weekend. So she came in and she actually started judging on check-in night and did all the cottage fleeces that night. And then she came back in and she did all of the white and the fawn, and the fawn includes the dark fawn and medium fawn fleeces, both male and female. Can you please give them all a big round of applause? An amazing amount of fleeces, an amazing undertaking. I want to note one of the observations that was made. So many of these fleeces were just so well prepared. Really taken pride, and people that have learned from showing fleeces and other shows. We did not have a best prepared fleece category to be ribboned, okay? That was not put in when we went for certification. So we can't award it, but we do have two we'd like to note, one Surrey and one Wakaya, that really were heads and tails above the others. For our Wakaya, the fleece is Aldonza de La Mancha, by La Mancha Alpaca's Coral Dillon. Now, Coral, you're here, right? Now, Coral, I heard a rumor that this alpaca lives in your living room, and that's why it's not dirty. Is that true?
No, but I would love to have her there.
Okay. And for Surreys, Rock Creek Surreys, they're Chromio, WRSA Chromio. That's owned by Bruce and Mindy Jung. That was the Surrey fleece, which was... Oh, okay. Thank you. Sorry. Oh, is she here? Oh, hi. Okay. Color championships. Do you want to talk about the gray fleeces? I think that'd be really nice.
I have to say, I was overwhelmed and so impressed with the degree of excellence of the grays here at the show. I mean, I gave some really, really impressive, healthy scores to those because they so deserved it. And I've been in this industry for over 22 years, and I remember where we started with our grays. And where we are today is just such advancement in excellence. And you guys know what you're doing. I'm going to give you credit for that. You guys know how to skirt now. You know what we're looking for. You are reading our notes, and you are taking action. So thank you for allowing me to judge those grades. Really appreciated it.
So the Wakaya Gray Female Color Championship champion goes to KBA Pink Champagne of Heart and Soul Alpacas and Spinnery. And our reserve champion in gray female is Bombers Avery, owned by Trace Amigos Ranch, Brian and Nancy Thompson. Gray male, Ariba Adonis, owned by Ariba Linear Alpacas, Lori Jones and Tom Van Hannen. And a reserve champion in gray male, KVR's Peruvian True Eye Candy, owned by Delphi Alpacas, Linda Batt and Russ Hinman. And now for our black champions. Talk about black alpacas.
The blacks as well. I tell you, what I was impressed with those blacks was the uniformity of fineness. That is tough to do. And blacks in general have been always on the higher end of micron, but not here. They're very, very soft with very lovely hand to them as well. In addition, I had some with some excellence in character of crimp and style, and several that just blew me away in brightness. Thank you.
The Black Female Championship. Champion, Orlando's Carly Cloud, owned by Gray Alpaca Company, Nancy and Don Lake, and co-owned by Jeff and Beth Hull. And our reserve champion, Chimera's Melena, Chimera's Melena, owned by Chimera Ranch, Sandra and Norm Johnson. Our Black Male Championship. Now, this is an interesting thing. I'm going to read them off, and then I'll explain. Our champion went to 5C's Captain Midnight of Cinco C's Alpacas, but not to be outdone by 5C's Captain Midnight, who also took the reserve champion. This was due to a waiver that was given to be able to enter 2014 and 2015 shearings. Hold it together, Carol. And now for the Brown Championships. Brown fleeces. On the spot.
Here we are again. What can I say? The Browns, they held their own. Very, very impressed again with the high degree of style, character, brightness, weights. I've had some that were just so well skirted. And, you know, every now and then I'd find some that we would suggest, or I would suggest that it could be a little bit cleaner. You know, there was some debris and some slight tip damage, of course, but still, I can remember there were some of them that were just extremely soft. I had some older ones that we just drooled over as well. So again, great job on these beautiful browns, and again, a high degree of advancement in that color group too. Very well done. Thank you.
The Brown Female Champion, PRTI Tributes Catalana, owned by Pulse Ranch Alpacas. Is she here? Is she here? I think she is. And our reserve champion, KCF Isla Seona, owned by Kendall Farm Alpacas, Chris and Lori Works. Everybody, that's Nancy Pulse. Yeah, no, she got the champion. She just started hooing. Our brown male champion, R.R. Touchstone, Renaissance Ridge Alpacas, Ken Rosenfeld and Julie Rosenfeld. And our reserve champion, Balvenie, owned by Alpaca Annuals, Susan and Scott Michalacki. Are they here? Now moving on to fawn. We had Winnie Lebrecq judging our fawn fleeces.
First off, I have to give a huge thank you to AOA and all of you for giving me the privilege to judge your fawns. I was blown away. Awesome, awesome fleeces. The degree of character, the fineness, the consistency was pretty amazing, and I had a heck of a day judging them, and boy, did I have fun. We didn't want to stop. So thank you for all of that. The degree and quality of fleece that I experienced here at Nationals is what we should all be striving for, and those who've entered should be proud of yourselves and give yourselves all a pat on the back, because these fleeces were very difficult to judge.
So the fawn female championship, number 242, Prima Majesty, owned by Cascade Farm, and the reserve, CCNF Amanda, also owned by Cascade Farm. And those were the fawn female championships. Fawn male championship, our champion went to R.R. Mercutio, owned by Pac Tamir, Alpaca Farm, and our reserve to CCNF Rainmaker, owned by Cascade Farm. The lights were judged by Diana Timmerman.
Well, on the Wakaya side, I want to say thank you for allowing me to judge those fleeces, because being from Colorado and being at some of the other fleece shows, I have to thank the breeders for the excellent job you did in skirting the part of the Wakayas I saw. Normally, during a fleece show, we have to change the paper. We did not have to do that. We did not have to adjust for the weight because of excess vegetation, dirt, debris. So what we saw was the actual weight. Weights are moving up. Uniformity is very consistent, not only in fineness, but all of the fleece characteristics. And I was just also very blown away at the quality that I saw. Very consistent in quality all the way through. So that's always fun for us, because it's a challenge to judge the fleeces, but also to see how forward the industry has come. Thank you again.
So our light female champion is TP Snowmass Touche's Secret Whisper, owned by Tierra Prometida Alpacas, Rhonda and Kern Dershna. And our reserve female champion, KCF INX, or in Excess, owned by Kendall Creek Farms, Chris and Lori Works. Our light male champion, CCNF Elixir. This is co-owned by Alpaca Farm and Cascade Farm, Neil and Joe Paget, and Ian and Jennifer Lutz. And our reserve champion to CCNF Spitfire, owned by Cascade Farm. What? That makes sense. And then we come to our whites, which was also judged by Winnie Lebrecq.
Wow. I don't know what else I can say. I am really honored and emotional to have been able to judge the whites. The degree of brightness, the quality and uniformity throughout the blankets, across every fleece in the show, has just been awesome to me. I rarely get the opportunity to judge white. I usually only get to judge white if I'm judging a full fleece show. So the opportunity to see this many white fleeces, broken out by gender no less, in classes of 13 or more, has just been incredible. And again, I thank you all for sending such awesome fleeces for me to have that opportunity to have my hands in all day. And again, I am very emotional. It was an experience for me. So.
It seems I've lost my sheet. You guys don't want to know where they are, right? Oh, okay. Our white female championship. Champion, Snowmass O.B. Joyful, owned by Cascadnac Farm, and Reserve CCNF True Adoration, also owned by Cascadnac. Then our white male champion, CCNF Drop Shot, owned by Cascadnac Farm, and a Reserve CCNF Antares, owned by Cascadnac Farm. We don't have to do the series, right? Oh, yeah. Oh. The series were judged by Diana Timmerman.
Let's see, what can I say? Absolutely incredible. I have been very fortunate to judge a lot of Surrey shows, and this was the best. I have never, so far, since 2001, seen the incredible fleeces that I saw this weekend. And yeah, we all kind of get a little emotional because when you're in the industry and you see how it progresses and you're out there actively judging in halter and in fleece, and you're instructing all the time and educating about this is, maybe a direction we should go, skirt, 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 breed for more density, do this and that. It's being achieved, and that's one of the reasons I get emotional. The luster was just superb. I got the honor of having a video on me for 2 days. So, I know everyone out there really enjoyed that. At times, it was a little difficult because, I just wanted to dive into those fleeces and, yeah. Anyway, we had a lot of fun on the Surrey side of things. And coming up with the words to describe luster, because great luster, splendid luster, super luster, stunning luster is in the past. We have well exceeded that. It's evenly throughout all of the fleeces, across the board throughout the whole fleece show. The density, the fineness was incredible. I had a scribe, which was Sonia Perron, and she did have to catch her plane back to Quebec. But she was getting to the point where, for fineness, she was a little tired of putting 10, because that's a full points for Surrey. So across the board, when you go and look at those scores, you're going to see a lot of 10s and 10s for finest in hand, which add up to 20, because that's where they were. An outstanding job of skirting. So I congratulate all the breeders for bringing those fleeces, but also I want to say thank you for the breeders that brought the more mature fleeces, because you will enjoy our results as we go further on into our awards. But thank you again.
Do you want me to just read all the colors? Do you want to say some of them individual color?
No, I'll save it for another award.
Okay. For the gray, now meanwhile, Surrey was not divided by gender, so there's just one champion, one reserve for each color group. The gray color champion, GLR Amalia, owned by Long Hollow Surrey Alpacas, Carl and Jan Heinrich. And our reserve gray, WRSA Chromeo, owned by Rock Creek Series, Bruce and Mindy Young. Surrey Black Champion. WRSR Haley by Avanti, owned by Wild Rose Surrey Ranch, Patty and Alan Anderson. And our reserve, GLR Honale, owned by Long Hollow Surrey Alpacas, Carl and Jan Heinrich. Brown Surrey Championship, RDE Peruvian Tracini, owned by Rock and D Enterprise, Bobby and Diane Dickerson. And our reserve champion, MMALP Knights Grande, owned by Rogue Surrey Alpacas, Jason and Beverly Brem. Our fawn color champion, WRSR Serengeti by Razor, owned by Wild Rose Surrey Ranch, Patty and Alan Anderson. Reserve, RRAF Mocha Joe, Rogers Reserve Alpacas, Janet and Bob Rogers. Surrey Like Championship, WI Limited Edition, Wilkins Ranch, Mike and Janet Wilkins. And our reserve, KBTA Locks Christoph, owned by Big Timber Alpacas LLC, Susan King. What row? White Surrey Color Championship. Eldora's Tempo by Rockstar, Eldora Surrey Alpacas, Leanne and Richard Nakashima. And our reserve champion, KBTA Kahunas Yosef, owned by Big Timber Alpacas, Susan King. Specialty awards. Let's do Surrey first. How about if I announce it and then you say a few things about it? Best hand for Surrey. WRSR Marengo by Hotzel. Hodazel? Hodazel, thank you. Wild Rose Surrey Ranch, Patty and Alan Anderson. So this is our best hand.
This is a little juvenile that when it came out on the table and I immediately touched it, of course, I was really hoping that it would follow through into the best hand. And for the volunteers that were in the fleece room, they now have a little bit more of an understanding of when we do these special awards. We just don't say that's one we like. There are several that we have to go back then and compare to all the rest that we judged. And this one has the most incredible softness of hand. It didn't matter if you put it against the back of your hand, up against your neck, felt left hand, right hand, whoever felt it. Incredible softness of hand. Yes, there were other ones out there that were also soft, but this one got the 4.5 out of 5 points, and for me, that is an outstanding number to get. So please put your hand into that fleece if you have the opportunity. Thank you.
Best Lock Formation, WI Limited Edition, owned by Wilkins Ranch, Mike and Janet Wilkins.
Again, lock style has advanced so much along with the fineness and the luster that when we're looking at a total fleece, we're looking at how all those traits go along together to find that lock. So what was neat about this one is incredible density within the lock, which means when you look at it, you can take that lock and bring it apart almost like an accordion, and you can close it back up. It was extremely fine, also extremely lustrous, and that lock was everywhere throughout the fleece. So it also had extreme density relative to all those traits. So deserving of the award for lock.
Luster. Luster. The most coveted. It's a signature, yes. RDE Peruvian Tresini, owned by Rock and D Enterprises, Bobby and Diane Dickerson. And that was a dark brown.
Are they here? They're not here? Oh, that's too bad that they're not here, because, as I said, going through and looking at luster, we had to come up, everybody included that was working with me, also the show super, different ways to describe luster. And I'm sure this is going to appear on Facebook, and now it's also on video, and I'm sure that people were wondering what was going on in the fleece room because of all the commotion that was going on when I had this brown fleece come out. This ended up being for Best Luster, this ended up being a male. He was almost 2 years of age, so he did have full fleece. He now has a new name. And everyone that was in the fleece room knows this name, but did not go out and share that. So in doing this, the oral reason, and it is on paper, and I signed my name, it does say, the luster was like glistening liquid chocolate. So I was in hopes that I could award this, because when that fleece was out, just you didn't need a light to see it. It just almost looked wet. It was not wet, but it was just dripping with chocolate all the way through, uniform, everywhere, deserving of the award. So now he has a new name. No, well, that came up in the conversations, yes.
If I had to lick a fleece, would have been the one I would want to lick. The spirit of the industry in
Oh, you want to do, you're going to do Surrey first. Oh, yeah.
to Surrey, spirit of the industry.
Want to do Judge's Choice first, or straight to the next one? Go for it.
Okay.
Go for it. Go for it. We're just trying to build.
Well, I thought this was kind of funny because the name of the animal is Young Star. Owned by Heritage Farm Surrey Alpacas, Tim and Beth Sheets. That was our spirit of the industry.
Of course, I have to say something about that, because I did thank the Surrey breeders for bringing the older Surrey fleeces. This fleece that receives Spirit of the Industry, which means that it's maintaining and still exhibiting all of those positive traits that we want to see, not only in the A age group, but going up into the D and E. This came out of the E age group. The fleece was off of a female that is 7 years of age. So those are the fleeces that we want to congratulate, because they are the spirit of the industry, because that is what is going forward in the industry. And in hopes to bring more of the older fleeces coming forward too, that are maintaining those traits. So this fleece was quite deserving, and it was a pleasure to award it to a 7-year-old.
I'm just looking for it. The Judge's Choice Surrey went to Eldora's Tempo by Rockstar, owned by Eldora Surrey Alpacas, Leanne and Richard Nakashima. And that came out of the white B class. Now on to Wakaya. My notes are very messy, so bear with me. And now I have chocolate all over them. Best Crimp. Ezekiel's Challenger by Markham Hill. Alpacas at Markham Hill, Bill and Jennifer Cameron. And he is, right now, I think He's in Italy or in Rome, yeah. So he's not here. Did you want to talk about this crimp?
Do I want to talk about this crimp? Okay, so we took out a number of fleeces for best crimp to evaluate. And when we do best crimp, it's not just me deciding because it's in my white classes, which this was a white fleece. She did lights. There was best crimp in her area. She did grays, blacks, browns, and multis. She had a number of selections for best crimp. So we had all these fleeces out looking at crimp. And far and above any fleece in that room, this fleece had the best crimp. I gave it a score of 9 for crimp, which is extremely high from me. This crimp has 3 dimension, it has rickrack, and it is entirely through the blanket. This animal is a D-class animal. It's impressive. So you need to go look at this crimp.
Best brightness. This was a great award to give. Best brightness came from a 3rd place alpaca. It went to Delphi's Luke, L-U-C. Delphi's Luke, owned by Delphi Alpacas, Linda Batt and Russ Hinman. Is Delphi here? I think they only actually... Oh, she might be. Is that, there you are. Hi there. Do you want to talk about it?
We'll let Sharon talk. Okay.
Oh, is it fun when those grays can beat those other colors? Let me tell you. Let's give her a big round of applause for that. I had many in my categories that excelled in brightness, and went through. And so did Winnie. Yes, she did. So Winnie presented me her brightest fleece, and I thought, oh my goodness, how am I going to outdo this? But I did. So I actually had 2 grays that were exceptional in brightness, and I went back and forth and back and forth. But this one that won, it got a 9.5 out of 10 possible for brightness. And when I put that under the light, along with the one that Winnie had as her favorite, it just outshined it. So congratulations, well deserved.
Best hand went to Snowmass Miamore, owned by Big Timber Alpacas, LLC, Susan King.
Best hand is, for me, one of the hardest categories I judge. Because best hand, it's not only, oh, that's soft, this feels really nice. It represents a lot of characteristics in a fleece when you put your hand in it. Because a good fleece that has really good hand gives you a hint that there's uniformity there. It gives you a hint that it's a very healthy fleece. It gives you a hint that that is going to process into wonderful things when it finally has time to do that. So when you put out a fleece and you judge for best hand, to get a 4 from me is pretty tough. 4.5 is pretty rare. There were a number of best hand fleeces from these 2 as well. And I had my favorite white, and they had 6 or 7 of their favorites out. And they're going through all of them. And I kept dragging them over to my white. I win. This fleece not only has softness to it and almost a silky touch, which you don't want to say in Wakaya, but I'm going to say that because it's very slick feeling. You can almost feel a grease to it. Really healthy fleece. Came from a B class. Beautiful hand in this fleece.
Spirit of the industry. went to Aussie 38 Special of Alpaca Fun Farm, Neil and Joe Paget. This is an e-fleece. This fleece is, you have to go look at it. It is fabulous. This is an older animal, an old guy. He's an old guy. Yeah.
Wow.
Ha, ha, ha.
We didn't know until this minute, so.
The gray did it again.
And it was born under a farm.
Yeah.
This fleece was just so impressive. The volume, the amount of fleece that was on my table, the weight that was given to that fleece. We studied it, we got out the book, we read the definition of spirit of the industry, and to my recollection, it means it is a fleece that maintains its integrity throughout several shearings, its fineness, its value to the owner as it ages, its commercial value to your industry, and the longevity for it to maintain its characteristics and fineness, handle, brightness, length, all of those positive traits. And this male is pushing 8 years of age. And when we pulled that staple length and we compared it to two other contenders that were in the one white, one light, and they were 3 years of age, 4 years, almost 4 years of age. We had a contender here that was double the age with a little bit longer staple length and very impressive across the board in all those traits. So congratulations to this winner, very well deserved. It was a pleasure.
Especially for the amount of action he's had. Especially for the amount of action he's had, right?
Yeah, who says males get coarser when they breed?
Because he's had a lot of action, hasn't he?
Male alpacas, that is.
So the judge's choice for the Wakayas was CCNF Elixir, owned by Alpaca Fun Farm and co-owned by Cascadneck Farm. Neil and Joe Paget, and Ian and Jennifer Lutz. That's it, right?
That was a D.
That was a D, yes. Age group D. Do you want to talk about him?
Well, I didn't get to judge a lot of Wakayas, but obviously I had a pretty good group of them. This fleece, out of the D class again, so approaching 4 years of age, soft, uniform, fine, dense, heavy. I think that about sums it up. And we had some other contenders for judge's choice, younger, same age category, and older. But we felt that all of the characteristics were so uniform in this fleece across the entire blanket that we did have to go with judge's choice for this fleece. Congratulations to the owner. I also want to mention that the light was a contender for Spirit of the Industry also in the D class.
You guys ready for the Cup Awards? Okay.
You done with that? We're done.
You can go.
Wait a minute, before they do. I just wanted to thank not only our fleece superintendent, but now that our judges are in the room, because I thanked you before you came in, Diana, Winnie, Sharon, thank you so much. We worked you hard. Great job. Had we known we were going to have this many fleeces, maybe we would have had another judge. But we know, the long hours you put in. Thank you so much.
You've been dismissed. Okay, we have 3 Cup Awards for each breed type. The Classic Cup Award was for 2 to 4 entries in the show, and that included if you had an entry in a Get Up Sire or a Produce of Dam. And then we had the Heirloom Cup, which was for between 5 and 8 entries. And then our Vintage Cup for 9 or more entries. So our Classic Cup Award, let's see if we could find the ones for Surrey and Waquia. Are they up here, printed on here?
That's Surrey. Yeah, I get my glasses. What are you doing first?
Let's do the Surreys first. So the Classic Cup Award
I got it.
for a farm who entered between 2 and 4 entries and then accrued a lot of points with championships and ribbons for the 1st through 6th place. First place got 6 points, second place got 5. And Margie and I sat there last night with doing this all up on the computer. And so our winner for the Classic Cup, Long Hollow Surrey Alpacas. Speech.
Thanks. First time ever.
Now our Heirloom Surrey for 5 to 8 entries. That went to Wild Rose Surrey Ranch. They're not here. The Vintage Cup for 9 or more entries. Rogue Surrey Alpacas. I don't think they're here either. Now for our Classic Cup Awards for Waquia. For 2 to 4 entries, our Classic Cup Award goes to Cinco C Alpacas. I'm joyous. Carol's an East Coast breeder like me, and I just remember her black fleeces when they've been in the fleece room before and how beautiful they are. And your animals, I've always go to her pen and see her animals in her pen, her black boys, and the one that took champion and reserve. This is what did it. Not many entries, but boy, did you cook it. Good job. The Heirloom Cup Award for 5 to 8 entries, Alpaca Fun Farm. Again, not many entries, but he really cranked up when we did the points, there was nothing close. Once we got to the end of the special awards, it wasn't close. And then our Vintage Cup for 9 or more entries, Cascadnac. Are Ian and Jen here today? I know they were seeing a baseball game the other day here, so. Okay. Thank you very much, and thank you so much for sending in your fleeces. This was just an absolutely superb show, and it was an absolute pleasure to serve the national organization by being their superintendent. Thank you very much.